Hello there, welcome back to Crafters TV. It's Tuesday, so it means, Tuesdays means we're just going to take it down a notch or two. Oh yeah, it's of course our weekly needlecraft stitching show where we're going to feature all things soft crafting, which is awesome, which is why of course we call it the softer side of life. And normally I'd say it's very relaxing, you know, we're going to be very zen during this show, but it's been very, very busy already before the show, so I would urge you to scooch on over to the website, craftscompanion.co.uk.com.au and have a little look, because I've got some fabrics and some panels that I am pretty adamant are going to sell out. Now, I am not here on my own for this Softer Side of Life show, and we're very technologically advanced this week, because I'm going to be going live to Lizzy, who is at home in Suffolk. Lizzy, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Joe? Lovely to see you.
Really good. Lovely to see you. We had so much fun when we did one of these a month or so back now. So really glad we got the opportunity to do it again. What are you up to in Suffolk? What have you been stitching lately, and what are you excited about in this show?
Oh, well, of course, we've got the dies, and I like a bit of a die. So we've got the multifunction dies. Oh, hold on a minute. I've forgotten. No. It's got to be the tool tidy.
Okay.
Absolutely. The tool tidy has got to be the top of my list out of the entire show. Dies come a very close second. And then, of course, we've got the fabric cutter. And you'd have been better off not actually asking me, Joe. I have to be honest with you there.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I tell you what, seeing as you've got so many favourites, why don't I whiz through a few offers and then we'll come straight over to you and we'll crack on with those demonstrations. I know you've got loads lined up for us today.
Yeah.
So, Lizzy, we'll go back to Lizzy in just a second. Lots of you saying hello already. I've just heard the most amazing place name as well. Diana is in Surprise in Arizona. Where do you live? Surprise! Diana is also in the house from Indiana. I see Donna in Maryland's here. Karen in Tennessee. Sarah's tuning in from Australia, and Patty in Michigan as well. We are truly international on this Tuesday afternoon. Right, let's start off first with the multi-function die collection. Now, you're going to love these because you get a set of 3, which is awesome. So what you're going to get is you get a set of 3, and each one of these creates 3 different bags for you. So what you've got is you've got a travel wallet in here, the first one. You've also got a jewellery case, which is this one here, and you've got a fold over clutch bag as well. So you're going to get all 3 of these ones from that first die set that you've got just there. Then your second set of dies is these ones here. Now, I love these because in this one, what you've got is you've got the crescent clutch, which is that one just there. You're also going to be able to do this gorgeous, sorry, that one was the, that one there was the cosmetic bag. This one is the clutch, and then you're also, you're going to be able to do this one as well, which I love, which is the mini bowling bag too. So you're going to be able to do all 3 of those on that die set. And what you're going to then be able to do is do these ones as well. Now, this is set 3, and in here, what you've got is you've got the gorgeous drawstring drum bag, which is that one just there, which is fantastic. That's a really lovely one for gifts and stuff. We've got this one here. Love this one. This is the plant pot that you're going to be able to make with that one there, which is your storage basket. And then finally, I've got this gorgeous little carry case as well. You can make all 9 of those bags with this die set. $99.97. What I would also say about this as well is you've got full instructions over on the Crafts Companion website as well. Video tutorials with Lizzy taking you through all the different ways that you can use them. And of course, Lizzy's going to give you lots of ideas in this show as well. Right, I'm going to start off with the bees. These panels are absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to whiz you through them. Lizzy's going to give us lots of different ways we can use this as we go through the show. The bee is very popular. 20% of the bee has already sold out and gone. Then you've got this one, which is that gorgeous leaping hare, as you can see there. Very busy on that. I love all of the sort of motion that you've got in these prints. They're on a gorgeous fabric as well. They're on like a kind of a Hessian almost. The Highland Coo, as they call that in Scotland, is 10% gone. So do grab that one. Here, this is the sheepy Very busy on that one there as well. Then, I love this one. This is so, to me, this feels so country, the pheasant. It really, really does. I can see this in a lovely old pub with lots of sort of like tins hung around the fire and stuff. That's what that's the sort of vibe it's giving me, maybe on a cushion. Then we've got the rooster. 15% of the rooster's gone. Look at the colours in this one. Really, really gorgeous. And it's on this beautiful... it's on this. I'm going to get Lizzie actually to talk to you more about the fabrics because it is gorgeous. And then we've also got the rabbit here, such a little cutie. 10% of the rabbit there has also sold out and gone. Now, you thought the panels were gorgeous, didn't you? You wait until I show you the fabric. So I'm going to open these up for you. These are on a slightly coarser. They're on a very similar material to the panel, but I'd almost say a slightly coarser weave to the fabrics. They're on a 1/2 metre piece as well. This bumblebee is just truly, truly gorgeous. 40% of the bumblebee has sold out and gone. The imagery in the fabric is still the same imagery that's in the panel as well. So it all pulls through and works together beautifully. So you've got the bee. You've then got as well the leaping hare, if you want to go for the leaping hare. 15% of the leaping hare has gone. We've also got the Highland cow as well. 15% of the Highland cow has sold out and gone. We've got the sheep here as well, as you can see. 20% of the sheep has sold out and gone. Oh, 20% of the sheep has sold out and gone. This one, now this, I think this is my favourite in the fabrics. It's that gorgeous peacock. Why do I want to keep calling it a peacock? What is wrong with it? I've got peacocks on the brain, clearly. It's a pheasant, clearly, Joe. 10%. You can, when you get these home, you can call them what you want. You really can. I mean, that could be a rhinoceros if you wanted it to be. It is, of course, a rooster, this one here. Really, really gorgeous. 10% of that one has gone. And then you've got the rabbit there as well. 20% of the rabbit has sold out and gone as well. Now, I want to again share with you the tidy tool. This was something we launched a little while ago, and it was very, very busy when we launched it. It's just awesome for having on your, I'd say awesome for having on your desk in your craft room, but awesome for having all around the house. And Lizzie, I know that you absolutely adore this. Lizzie, before we get into this, just talk to me quickly, if you wouldn't mind, about those panels and those fabrics, because it's such an interesting texture, isn't it, to the material you've got there.
Yeah, it's a canvas really, and you're quite right. One is much more dense, if you like, than the other, but they still go together very well. I've got a great little demonstration to show you how they're going to work together. But it's a really, really, really good quality canvas, and there's so much you can do with that fabric, which I'm hopefully going to demonstrate as we go through the show.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait for that. The tidy tool that I'm hearing, already very busy, Lizzie. I'm going to say that a lot because it always makes me laugh. But there's lots you can do with this, isn't there? I think I need one of these for my new apartment, you know.
Yeah, I've been called a lot of things, and Busy Lizzie is one of them. But can you see mine? This is mine here. This is the tool tidy here. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? And I just need to tell everybody that this has been on my desk since the day I launched it. It's been absolutely glued to my side because I always joked at the time, actually, when I launched it, that please may I have 3 more, because I could see the potential of these, not only just on my desk, but also, like you said, around the entire house, because this is awesome. Do you want me to show you the joy of the tool tidy?
That would be great.
Okay, be aware that this could get messy, all right? So this is how it is. This is all of my tools. There's all sorts of different brands in there, different things that I like to use, tape measures, pokey tools. There's Sharpie pens, there's pliers, there's heat eraser balls, there's my mitre tool there, which is really important, my binding tool. I've got my Hera there, I've got pliers, I've got all sorts of tools, my embroidery scissors, which I think we've got today, my quick unpick, got all sorts of different pens that I use, tweezers, my humper jumper.
A what now? A what now?
See? I just thought I'd pause on that for you.
Humper jumper?
Yep. It's to help the foot of your machine go over sort of big seams, for instance. So that canvas, actually, if you did a lot of seams or thicknesses, this would... This is the tool you need. I don't think we sell it, so I'll just shut up about
It's
that.
a new one. I'm noting that down. Every day's a school day.
Well, exactly. You see, you didn't know you needed it. Anyway, look, if I keep on going, I've got my heat erasable pens, I've got quick unpicks, more embroidery scissors, I've got forceps, I've got my screwdriver, pokey tool, and again, the last but not least, a couple of little clips, because they go on there. Now, look, I'm not joking. All of that came out of my tool tidy.
It's unbelievable.
What do you reckon? It is incredible, isn't it? Now, of course, I could have this in a sort of an A4 plastic box and I could sort of roll around in it and I could find what I needed. But at the end of the day, you know, I like to have this tidy, and I'll be honest with you, and you can see it, well, you won't be able to see, but it's quite mucky because it has been on my desk since, like I said, the last time I launched it. Now, I'm just running my fingers through the middle there because that entire length right through the middle is an open space. You don't see it straight away, but when you run your finger along, it's an open space. So straight away, I can put my binding tool in there, my mitre tool. So that goes into the middle. That's the first thing we can put in. You can put it in afterwards if you want. Mine's clear because it was a prototype. Yours is purple. And then you can put the mitre tool in there. So that goes in there straight away. And then if I put this down, because I'll need two hands, I can start filling this with all of my tools and accessories. And I'm not joking, screwdriver is very important, quick unpick, very important, vital. I've got my pliers in there in case I get a snap fastener in the wrong place. I've got my tape measure here, which always gets hooked over. I've got pens, pencils, because I'm always drawing. My heat erasable pens. Don't forget they're on the website, guys. We need our heat erasables, so get those in your tool tidy. I've got another quick unpick there, so I've nearly filled one side, but not quite. I've got a Sharpie pen, I've got tweezers, I've got a pencil, I've got forceps, or these are called something else, I can't remember what they're called, for putting toy stuffing in. I've got another pen here. I've got another, don't forget your heat erasable, guys, another heat erasable. My humper jumper goes straight in there. My little Sharpie pen for when I want to highlight a pattern piece. A hero marker for when I want to crease. My fabulous embroidery scissors. These are absolutely gorgeous, and they're kept there because they're special. A little pokey tool, a stuffing tool, a quick unpick. Well, I'm not stopped yet. I've got a little marker there as well as like a Hera tool again. I've got more tweezers for my overlockers. And then, hold on, I haven't finished yet. I've got another Sharpie pen in there. Sorry, I'm brand naming. Pencils. Oh, I've got my little clips. So my little clips can go in there as well. So they're all quite close to me. There we go. Let's pop those in. And then I've got another heat erasable. I've got my little quick unpick there. And it's actually a stiletto. And then I've got another pair of little embroidery scissors in case I miss my special ones. So look, there we are. That heap that was on my desk is now very nice and neatly tidied away.
How awesome is that?
And truly, I'm not even joking you, that sits on my left-hand side and I'm constantly going to it. It's a little library of tools. Listen, if you treat yourself to one thing today and you've got a bit of a smaller budget, that has got to be the thing. In actual fact, if you can manage to get two, because truly, I would like more around the house.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? That might be someone reclaiming a drawer, Lizzie. How many people have got, everything just poured into a little drawer somewhere and you don't know what's in there. You're rummaging around, you end up cutting and scraping yourself on stuff. This means that you can have it all stored beautifully and tidily on your work surface. You know everything is. And as Lizzie was saying, especially for things like home offices as well, these are going to be absolutely invaluable. A $7.99 if you want to get one. I would definitely agree with Lizzie and what Lizzie says in trying to stretch to two if you can. You've got a 20% saving on there as well, which is absolutely awesome. So definitely grab that. Lots of you still chatting away in the comments. Lots of love for my shirt. Thank you very much. It's new. I'd love to tell you it was very, very expensive, but it was from Tesco's and it was £9. I know, because that's how haute couture I am. Also, a lot of love for the panels as well. Karen's loving them, and lots of love for that tool tidy as well, which is brilliant. Jan says, do you know what? I just love the softer side. We love it as well, Jan. We're glad that you're here with us. We're going to move on to something else, though, and we're going to move on to the Threaders fabric cutter. It's 15 by 15.5 inches, so it's a really nice big size. As someone that's not a sewer, Lizzie, I must say, I do look at all the markings on here, and I think, gosh, they look like they would be useful, but I haven't got a clue what they're for. I'm going to be honest with you.
I have to say, Joe, this is the most useful tool that you could ever treat yourself to. And look, if you see a flash, I'm sorry, it's my lights, and I can't do anything about that. But it has got all the markings on there. You're absolutely right. So if I hold it up, you'll probably see it better in the studio. We've got pink lines that denotes the inches, and then we've got black lines going all the way up here that denotes the centimetres. So you've got inches and centimetres. It's a really big cutting tool here. It's fabulous. And the great thing about this, Joe, is it is right-handed and left-handed. So, of course, I'm right-handed, so I can use the cutter going, and I'm sorry about my lights. I don't know if I can cover them up. I'm not sure. There we go. I'll do that. But you can put the palm of your hand on there and push away. Now, that means that everything that you're doing now is super, super safe. But I'm right-handed. What about the lefties? Because, you know, we have to think about everybody. All right, all we do is just turn it around. So again, all you're going to do, left-handers, and you're just going to push away. You're going to push away. You can still see all the markings on there, all the numbers. They're all in pink, all going across here, across the top, down the bottom, up the sides. We couldn't have made this any better for you. Got a grab handle here so you can hang it up safely in your room. It has a 45mm cutting blade in there, which is standard. That is your standard cutting blade that you'll find in any rotary cutter. I mean, the one that we have from Threaders, which is this one here. If you want to, you could swap that one into there if that one gets blunt. So you've got that opportunity straight away to get a blade that's very common, if you like. There's no difficulty in getting blades for it. And the blade only engages when you press down. So you're sorted. You've got all your degrees on here that you need. So you've got 30, 45 and 60. And because of that, you can cut things like diamonds and bias and all of those things that you might want to do. You might just want it for straight cutting. So, for instance, if I just turn this around, I'm going to try and put something there to stop that shining. There we go. Look, I put a bit of fabric there. And if I just stand up, I've got some fabric here, Joe, and I just want to neaten the end off. So first of all, I'm going to tuck it under, and I'm just going to neaten the end off. So all I'm going to do is cut that little piece away there. And then all I'm going to do then, and you could do this, you could turn this around very much easier than what I'm showing you. You can cut this, let's say 2-inch strips. Let's go for a 2-inch strip, because I've got a little project I'm going to show you. Now, you might want to do a ton of cutting, and there might be a reason for that, and I'm just going to show you. So, 2-inch strip, perfectly, every single time. 2-inch strip. Now, I'm cutting through 4 layers of fabric. You might not want to do 4 layers of fabric. You might only want to do 1 layer. You might want to do 8 layers. What you've got is the choice to be able to do that. So look, there we go. And I could go on cutting. Let's just move this out of the way, because I've got a little project that I'd like to share with you all. And I'm just bringing my glue gun in. Get that fired up. Now, I've got a load of 2-inch strips now, okay? And in 30 seconds, I cut a load of 2-inch strips. Now, if you've got a wire wreath, this is a heart shape, this is where we can start making something really creative, like a little raggedy sort of wreath here. You could do this with Christmas fabrics. And the thing is, every single one of these is absolutely the same as the last one. So there's no guesswork. It's all cut with accuracy. You could cut these to, let's say, I think 15 inches long would be really good. And then 2 inches wide I found to be really good. And you might want to leave it like that and make it sort of raggedy and push them up. And the thing is, you've got that opportunity to do that, because as you're cutting, you could get the kids tying these on, because this is not at all dangerous. The other thing you can do is, if you happen to have a pair of heat tongs for your hair, you could then curl the ends. I want you to have a look at the ends of these, I might be difficult because it's white, but all of these ends I've just sprayed with starch and I've curled them with my heat tongs, okay?
Fabulous.
And then, what do you think of it so far?
Yeah, I think it's a really awesome project. I love it.
Yeah, and again, I've cut a little piece of ribbon here, and you can either bend it with your scissors like this, like you would with parcel ribbon, but in actual fact, the ribbon would also go through your heat tongs. So all you're going to do is pop it in there. These are not on, and then you're just going to twist it around, and you're going to make a curly ribbon, and then that can be hot glued into your project. And of course, you could use Christmas colours. This could be for a wedding. This could be for a little christening that you're perhaps going to. Whatever the occasion, you've now got a quick project. I mean, you could make that in less than an hour. By using the fabric cutter, it speeds up the process. All of the pieces of fabric are kept safe in there because nothing is moving. And within a minute, look how many strips I've got here, Joe. And I don't know, I didn't time myself, but it was probably about, I don't know, half a minute, and I'd cut all of these strips from the fabric cutter, and that is just one application of how you can use it. And I could just go on and on and on, and within an hour I could get this beautiful sort of raggedy wreath put together on my wall. It could be Christmas fabrics, it could be some of your favorite fabrics, some of the scraps that you've had, and it's all done because I've had the benefit of that cutter. If I was to use my regular rotary cutter blade and mat, we always have the danger of it slipping and sliding, but you won't with this. This grabs the fabric. I can't tell you how safe it feels to actually use this as a cutter. If I bring a little bit more fabric in, let's find one. This is a good size for me to cut. I'm just going to try and keep that on there so we don't see the flash. So again, I could, now, if I wanted to, I could take this right over to the end, put it down and hold it like you would a regular mat, and then I could trim, okay? But because this is sort of ambidextrous, I could turn this around, and actually I could trim the side from here. And as long as you get the same pressure, you get the most amazing cut. And it's difficult to see because I've got my lights on blaring away, but that is a beautiful, beautiful cut. And then all I need to do then is just work from the other side, turn it around, work from the other side, and hold on, let's just put it back, and then keep cutting those 2-inch strips if that's what I need. If that's not the sort of thing that I want to do, then you can still use your other fabrics. So for instance, I've got some gorgeous Christmas fabrics here. So maybe this is something that I want to make a patchwork quilt out of for Christmas. Just simple green and red squares. So we've got the strips cut. I'm just going to put it under my trimmer just to trim that little bit away there. So it's nice and straight. Put it under there. We could do, I don't know, we could do 4.5-inch squares. I've got that accuracy there. I can see straight away. Because I've got the pink dots, you can just about see them. Because I've got the pink dots, that shows very, very clearly on my board here, even though I've got darker fabric underneath. So, and then you could just trim it away and get it all lined up. There's absolutely nothing you can't do with this. But also, if you wanted to cut, maybe you want to cut some diamonds on here. You're going to pop it under. If I just get one of these pieces. So I've got a strip already. I can't remember what size that is. Let's have a look. I don't know if it will tell me. Oh, yes, it's a 5-inch strip. So I can just line this up on my board and my mat. I could look for, well, let's do 30 degrees. I could line my fabric up on the 30-degree line. Just square it up. So my line is now following my fabric. You can just about see that.
Yeah, I can see that.
My hand there. And then I can start cutting diamonds and triangles and things like that. So it's absolutely perfect for any of those jobs that you want to do. bias cuts as well. If you want to do a bias cut, just pop it in there again, pop it under the cutter, line up your 45 degree, and again, you're just cutting it. And you've got that fabulous, I just missed the first little bit, you've got that fabulous 45 degree cut. And of course, you can do that with your binding fabric and things like that. So it's super, super quick, Joe, super quick.
Yeah, it really is. And I know it's been so busy when we brought it to you previously, and continues to be very, very busy again now as well. £47.99 if you're in the UK, £71.99 if you're in the US. I love how safe it is as well. Until you put that pressure down on that blade, nothing is going to be cut, which is absolutely awesome. But I think, you know, when it comes to cutting out, give yourself the best chance of getting the best job done when it comes to your sewing by investing in a great tool that's going to really help you when it comes to cutting out. Now, lots of us wearing face masks at the moment. Lots of us got a vast array of different styles and types, and there's all sorts out there. But how about making your own? There's got to be a sense of accomplishment, hasn't there, in making your own. And we've got some great projects for you available. And these are awesome because basically the pattern is printed on the actual fabric itself. Now, you make 5 in each of these kits, which is awesome. This is the round rainbow. Now, we have the deepest stock of the round rainbow available at the moment. 30% of the stock there has sold out and gone. We also have some other options for you as well. So this one here is the square rainbow. It's limited stock, this one. There are not very many left at all, actually. Only a few opportunities to get your hands on that one. The next one we have for you is this one here, and it's the splash rainbow that you can see just here. Again, all of these make 5, which is awesome. Again, single figures on the splash rainbow at the moment, so you need to be quick for that one. We've then got this one just here, which is your square splash rainbow. Very, very low figures. All of these, in fact, I think are limited stock now, so you will need to be quick for them. This is the square pink. We've got 6 of that one available if you want to get it quickly. The square blue, there's a handful of these left. You need to be very quick for all of them. It is. We've had a lot of these on our website, and they were very, very busy. And it is the very last of them at the moment. So I'm sure we'll try and reorder these, but you can imagine what demand is like to get hold of those at the moment. Now, I want to go back to these panels because they are absolutely beautiful. As Lizzie was saying earlier, it's almost like a kind of canvas that you've got on these, which is fantastic. So this one here is the bee. 25% of the queen bee has sold out and gone. You've then got the hair, which is this one just here. Very busy on the hair. It's really, really beautiful. It's got such a sort of an antique element about it, which I adore. Really, really lovely. The Highland cow. 10% of the Highland cow has already gone. You've then got the sheepy just here. I love that. Really, really awesome. I love sheep's eyes. They're sort of spooky, aren't they? But I do like them. Now, this is not a peacock. This is a pheasant. I don't know why I want it to be a peacock. It can be a peacock if you want it to be. 10% of the stock there on the pheasant has gone. Now, the rooster. Isn't this gorgeous? Look at all of those colours there in that rooster panel. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. I love all the detailing here as well. 20% of the stock of this one has sold through. And the rabbit here, 15% of the stock of the rabbit has also sold out and gone. Now, all of the panels have a matching fabric for you as well, so I'm going to take you through that matching fabric. What we've got firstly is the bee, which is this one just here. So you can see the bee, half the stock of this one has gone. We've also got for you the hair as well. 20% of the stock of the fabric of the hair. These are all half-metre pieces. Buy multiples of these as well, and we'll do our best to cut them in their multiple metres for you. So you won't have to. So if you want, you know, a metre square piece, or you want a couple of metres, that we can do that for you. The Highland cow there, 15% of the stock has gone. We've got the sheepy here as well. Very busy on the sheep. You've also got the pheasant, of course, as well. 10% of the pheasant has gone. The rooster is is gorgeous. 15% of the stock of the rooster is gone, and you've got that bunny in there as well. Just over 20% of the bunny has sold out and gone. Right, Lizzie, these are just so beautiful, aren't they? They're almost kind of like and I haven't really seen it before, they're almost like a watercolour on fabric, which is really interesting.
Yeah, that's exactly what they are. They are a watercolour on canvas, and they've just been replicated in the printing of the fabric. I mean, it's just amazing. And the things that you can do with these are going to blow your mind. And for the price, I'm watching the show on my phone down here. I'm keeping up with you, Joe. And I was looking at the price of these.
Amazing.
And I am absolutely blown away. I don't know where that price has come from, but that is absolutely brilliant value. Now, they sent me a couple of panels and bits of fabric to play with. Hurrah for me, because I love what I've just been doing with it today. I'm going to show it up to this side camera here, and hopefully you'll be able to pick it up. I know the lights are bright in my room, but we'll see. Now, I've done a ton of stitching on here. I've done a ton of stitching in silvers for the wings. I don't know if you can pick it up.
Yeah, I can see that.
I've got like glitter pens going on here. So if you've got some sparkle pens, things like that, use them on the fabric, but be aware that you can't wash it. That's all I'm going to say. So I've sparkle pens here. So I've actually sort of brought the bee to life using stitch. And down here, because obviously the bee is going to have honey on their feet. So I've done gold stitching and gold sort of sparkles. Yeah, so you can add to this. And if we look at the back, you'll see that I've used a tearaway stabilizer. Let me just get it away from the light. I've used a tearaway stabilizer, which helps you machine this. And I also want to point something else out. I ran out of stabilizer here, guys. Can you see how that puckers?
Oh, yes.
And that's because I didn't use the stabilizer. I didn't realize I hadn't cut enough when I finished stitching. So if you do what I've just done, and you put some stitch on here, and I think with the bee is particularly fun. And well, any of them, that pheasant with some stitch on would look incredible. But you can see the detail. Oh, there we are. It's a little bit better if I bring it right in. And I've put like lovely silver thread on the sort of wings of the bee as well, just to bring them to life. And it's something very simply that you can do. Now, these panels are around about just under 18 inches square, so they really are a good size. So you could just get one of these panels and the fabric and make a fantastic cushion. In actual fact, they're so affordable, you could get one of each and get the backing fabric and make a cushion. Now, I've cut a bag out which I'm going to stitch, and I've used a little piece of fabric for the back, so I've used the complementary bee fabric for the back.
I love that.
And I can assure you that you will do at least either 2 more backs or a whole cushion with the fabric that's left over. Plus, you could make, when you look at the multimedia dies, you could make 1 or 2 of those bags using the leftovers as well. So there's a lot of fabric that you're getting. So quite simply, I've cut a square about 15 inches square. I've got a piece of webbing, which I do believe we possibly have got on the website. It's our threaders webbing. And I've just pinned it, or put my quilters clips in there, about 4 inches from each end. So I'm going to stitch that in a second. With the front one, like I said, this is my thing. This is what I love to do. I love to do what we call needle painting, thread painting. And now it's all completed. All the glitter is dry. I left it overnight. Now that's ready to stitch. Now, I want to talk to you about French seams. French seams, if you're using just 2 pieces of fabric and no lining, are absolutely ideal for this project, okay? Perfect with the webbing as well. So, French seams, I'm going to stitch wrong sides together, quite close to the edge of the sides here, okay? And then I'm going to turn it through and make my French seam. So I'm going to talk and do, Joe. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Right. So before I do anything, I'm going to stitch my webbing in place, okay? And of course, that's up to you. So I've just done, I would say it's more like 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, fold over. So I've just folded over my fabric there. And, we don't want the free motion on. And I'm just stitching along the top there, just catching that webbing in that seam. So I'll just move my clip out the way. Just attaching the webbing as I go along. And this is a really quick make. If you want to do a quick sort of gift for somebody for Christmas, this is the sort of thing that you can whip up in an hour. It really is. But you need the right stuff. So using the panels, using that fabric, you're absolutely going to knock them out of the park with making something as simple as that. So that's our first bit, and that's got the webbing handles attached. So we'll quickly whip up the next bit. Now this fabric is quite stiff. And you'll be surprised at how stiff it is when you get it home. But once this is washed, and bearing in mind you want to watch what you're using with the paints, it'll soften up. There's no doubt about it. But it will make the perfect cushion for your conservatory, your sunroom. You know, if you've got a posh terrace and you've got outside furniture like my sister has, you can pop them out there. And I have to say, you pop into any of those stores that we know and love, that sell beautiful household things, you will get fabric like this. There is no doubt about it. It's absolutely the bee's knees, excuse the pun. So I'm going to put wrong sides together. So don't be alarmed. There's my front, there's my back. And I'm going to do wrong sides together, and I'm going to stitch a narrow seam. I would say it's not 1/8 of an inch, it's between 1/8 and 1/8 and a quarter, all the way down. So we'll just whiz that down. I got my super fast machine out, especially for you, Joe.
Oh, I am pleased. We were just thinking here, Lizzie, if you made these as gifts.
Sorry?
If you were making these up as gifts, think about how many you could make and what they would cost you. People would think you'd spent an absolute fortune on these, wouldn't they?
Yes, they would, because of the quality of the fabric. And I'm not just saying that, it is a fabulous quality. So I've done one seam. I'm now going top to bottom on the other side seam. I'm doing a little back stitch just to make sure it holds. And obviously when you do it, guys, you're going to be so careful with all your stitching. I'm just whizzing because we want to get this done. We've got so many other things to show you. So locking off the threads. Now, I haven't stitched the bottom. That's still open, okay? But we're doing French seams. Perfect, perfect, perfect for anything where you're using single layers of fabric. So now what I'm doing, right sides together, you can tell it's the right size. You can see my my tearaway stabilizer, and you're just going to pinch that seam at the side, and you're going to make a French seam. This time you're going to stitch, let's say 1/2 inch. I'm not measuring. It's not the sort of thing I spend time worrying about. And now you're coming straight up those sides again, and obviously be respectful of your sewing machine, because we're coming up now to the double layers of canvas, and it really is, and you'll know when you get it home what a quality piece of fabric this is. And of course you're going to trim your threads, you're going to make it gorgeous and neat. We're just doing speed stitching here, 1/2 inch again. And what that's doing, Joe, that is encasing the raw edges. So when we turn it through, it'll look beautiful. But we just got the French seam to do on the bottom, which we can do in a flash. This is one of those really quick, oh my gosh, I've got to make somebody a present sort of project. So push through again. So look, you'll see that those side seams, apart from a couple of little fray bits, they're absolutely perfect. So wrong sides together, we're on the bottom seam, about between 1/8 and 1/4 inch seam allowance, running up the side, this is the bottom, I beg your pardon. I've got a few frayed bits that I can just pull. So what I would suggest you do is when you stitch this bottom seam or any of the seams, you get your scissors or your fabric cutter and you trim all of these frayed pieces away. But I'm doing this for speed. Turn it through. Give it a good push, get those corners out, use your pokey tools if you need to, but push those corners out and you'll find that your French seams on the inside of the bag, and let me try and show you that too much glare, they sit like this. I need to poke that bit out, but they sit like this. So they sit flat and they're really neat, really, really neat. I would like to actually poke that out. Let's find something. So just pop your pokey tool in there and just poke. There we are. That's absolutely perfect now. And then all you're doing is stitching a 1/2 inch again right across the bottom. So let's do that. And again, I need to poke that corner out, otherwise we might see it on the wrong side. Now, after I finished Crafters TV today, I do my weekly trip to see my father. And when I go and see him, I have to pop in to our local sort of filling station and pick up a certain brand of chocolate eclairs.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt, of course you do.
Has to be done.
Absolutely.
And I do this every Tuesday, and then we have to go and do his supermarket online shopping for him. And I have to have a bag. I have to have a bag because, as you know, Joe, how can you walk past all the other cream cakes? You know, chocolate eclairs are one thing, but there's scones, there's all sorts of beautiful, like cheesecakes.
You are preaching to the choir, Lizzie. You really are.
See, so obviously you need a fabulous shopping bag to take with you when you go on your trips. Or perhaps not if you're going to see your dad, but certainly if you're going shopping and you need a quick bag, you can make that for yourself. And look, that's absolutely stunning. And when you see it close up, the stitching on there really makes it sing, because there's gold thread, there's silver thread, there's glitter paste on there. I'm sorry, I'm going to move it again. I'll do it to the front. There's like glitter paste on there. So, like I said, if you've got our glitter pens, the Crafter's Companion glitter pens, use them on these projects, because why not? As long as you know, not put it in the washing machine, otherwise you'll lose it probably. But that makes the most amazing bag. So one side is all bees and the other side is a beautiful piece of embroidery.
Really, really gorgeous. And I guess the great thing is, because it's that nice substantial canvas, it means that once that bag's been made up, it's going to be super sturdy as well. So, you know, when Lizzie's getting multiple bottles of wine in there, which no doubt happens, it's going to be absolutely fine. It's not going to give out, which would be a tragedy. So it's very, very busy across all the panels. The bee, I think, is your favourite at the moment. 30% of the stock of the bee has gone. The leaping hare is another option. Really love that. I love all the shading around it as well, which makes it look really grounded. You've also got the Highland cow as well. 15% of the Highland cow, or the Highland coo, if you're Scottish, has gone. You've got the sheepy in there as well. I think he looks intense, doesn't he, the sheep? I love it. We've also got the pheasant in here as well. 10% of that pheasant has gone. You could have a little menagerie on the go, couldn't you, if you made cushions out of all of these? You've got the rooster here as well. Loving the colours there in the rooster. And we've also got the rabbit here as well, that little bunny rabbit. Absolutely awesome. 20% of the rabbit has gone. £2.49 or £3.99 for a panel is really, really awesome value for money there. And something that you've got, something quick and good to go. Very, very simply and easily. Great for a cushion, wonderful for a bag. Let's go back through the fabrics that you've got here as well. I'm just going to leave that to one side actually whilst we go through the fabrics. Over half the stock of the bee has sold out and gone already, which is fantastic. We've also got the leaping hare. 20% of the leaping hare is gone. You've got the Highland Cow as well, 20% of the Highland Cow gone. Really love these small repeating patterns that you've got on the fabrics here. You've also got the sheepy as well. We've also then got for you that pheasant, which is not a peacock. I don't know why I think it is. The rooster, just loving that colour still. 15% gone there, and the rabbit, 30% of the rabbit has already sold out and gone. Very, very busy show that we are having. A lot of chatter in the comments about French seams as well. A lot of you talking about not having seen them before. Some of you love them as well. Enchanted Craft Ray said, French seam is new for me. This gets around using a serger, nicely finished. Patty says, French seams new to me also, I will be trying it. Gillian says, first time watching, very inspirational, Lizzie, so thank you for that. I want to mention the heat erasable pens that we've got as well. Always busy whenever we bring these to you. $4.79 or $6.36. It's a brand new stock. 10% of that stock has already sold out and gone. And these are just fantastic. Of course, the moment you introduce heat into these, then that marking disappears. So it really is great for marking out, especially if you're marking out areas that are going to be seen once you have finished your project. Right, we're going to go back to the multi-function dies. I remember when we launched these, I remember the lovely Lizzie actually coming up and filming all the how-to videos on these. They are absolutely awesome, and there's so much that you can do with them, because each one of these bags, it makes 3 different bags of a similar style, which is fantastic. So the first one that you've got is your gorgeous travel one, which is just here. I love it. And it is that travel wallet, as you can see. It's been done in the cork fabric there as well. You've also got the fold over clutch bag, which is this one just here. I've actually got one of these that the lovely Bernie made for me, and I use it all the time. It's this fold over clutch I use for all of my crochet hooks, which is lovely. And then you've also got the jewellery case there as well. So that's what you're going to be making with the first die collection. The next one here, this is set 2, and in here you've got lots in here. So you've got your crescent clutch bag, which is this one just here, which I love. You're going to be able to get loads of lovely things in there. You've then got this one here, which is your cosmetic bag, which is like the crescent one, but it's got a nice deep gusset in there, so you'll be able to get lots of stuff in there. And you've got the mini bowling bag as well, which is fantastic. So you're going to be able to create all 3 of those bags using that one die set, which makes the value awesome, because you think £20 to get dies that are allowing you to create 3 different types of bags is awesome, because dies like this, normally you just create one type of bag. So the next one that you've got is going to enable you to do the fabric storage basket, which is this one just here, which makes an awesome plant pot as well. You've also got the drawstring drum bag here as well. That's awesome for storage. It's wonderful for the bathroom, that one. And you've then got as well the lovely carry case in here as well, which has got that handle on there too, which is brilliant. The great thing about this is that of course Lizzie's going to take us through these in a moment, but I know that Lizzie has done full video tutorials for these on our website as well, so you'll be able to go back over to the Crafter's Companion website and find all of those tutorials at a later date should you need to use them. The great thing about buying them now during our Softer Side of Life show is that we are charging you for 2, but we're sending you 3, which is awesome. You're saving $29.99 or $39.95. Of course, Club Inspire Platinum members can get an even better saving as well, which is awesome. Platinum members in the UK save another £12. Inspire Platinum members in the US should save another $16 on these, which is absolutely brilliant. I remember us launching these, Lizzie, and you coming up and doing the videos for them and just being blown away at how many things that you could make so fabulously with the one set of dies.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, that's exactly what I look for in a set of dies. And in my head, I always say, OK, that's what it can do, but what else can it do? But of course, Crafter's Companion had already done that because they've come up with 3 projects. But again, you know, you are holding up, you know, the big drum one with the zip around and the handle. Well, that particular one there, when you showed it to me, it just reminded me of something that if you actually, that's the one, if you actually repeat the top part again, instead of making the big base, you can then make a round jewellery box.
Oh, gorgeous.
Or pouch. So it's only the same width as the top, and again, so you're making a bag sort of, or storage container really, about this big, where the zip goes round the middle and you've got the handle on the top. I did a very similar pattern actually on my website, but it's perfect because you've got all the dies. You've got the little bit of tuition with the videos. You really can't go wrong with them. And when I look at the set of dies, I've got them in front of me. I daren't pick them up. They're all taped because I've used them so much. They're all kind of taped. Let me show you an example, right? Because I'll put my money where my mouth is. There's my set of dies. I'll hold it there. Look. Okay. That's my set of dies. Everything is taped because A, I don't want to lose them, and B, they fit back into the containers that they came in. And quite honestly, there are other things you can do to keep your dies safe, but for me, that's the best option. And you can see straight away the potential, because I tell you what I see. I just see a whole load of shapes that you can cut your fabric to make all sorts of things. You know, we've given you 9 different projects, which is amazing, but actually the world is your oyster. You can make as many different things as you like, and I'm going to show you one example of that later. Can I show you what I was going to cut?
Oh yes, please.
Okay, so I've picked one die out. I thought, let's make something with one die. And I think you've already got a pattern for the clutch bag on there, where the zip goes either along the top there, or it goes the full length around the semicircle there. Well, of course, that is such a great shape and a great pattern for this time of year, because it's an easy project. Now, you'll notice that there's a bit missing. What on earth is going on there? Well, that's where you put the fold of the fabric, okay? So you don't think, well, they've only given me half a die. What's the point of that? But that's all you need. So what I've got is some fabulous fabric here. I don't know if anybody recognises this. This is our peacock fabric. I'm just making sure I've got they're all going the same way. I'm going to fold those 2 layers in half. They've already been stabilised. I'm not using wadding, guys. I'm only using like a medium weight iron-on stabiliser there. I want to make sure that my little design, a part of the design, we can just about see it, is going up my bag. So I want to make sure that that's how I place the die. So it's going up my bag. And let me just, I keep my Gemini plates in my machine. So you'll hear, well, you might or might not.
They live in the machine.
Pardon?
They live in the machine.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I've never heard that before.
It keeps them flat, but it means I never lose them, because I am notorious for losing stuff. So the other thing I want to talk to you about is your builder's masking tape. It is absolutely your best friend, because I always tape my dies down, especially when I'm bag making, because you know, Crafts Companion have given us the accuracy. So let's be respectful of that and do it justice by taping everything down. Put the tape on the metal of the die and your scrap fabric. If you're using, let's just say you're using, I don't know, velvet, tweed, anything like that, if you put the tape onto your best fabric, this bit, when you lift that tape off, it'll take all the pile with it, or it'll stretch it. Okay, so just a little tip. The other thing is, which I haven't done, is put this at a quirky angle, okay? Because I always talk about quirky angles with dies, because I want you to imagine that you're in a swimming pool, Joe, okay?
I'm there. I'm imagining it.
Okay. And you are up the 20-foot deep end, okay?
It's a little bit harder to imagine, but I'm there, yeah.
You've also made the effort of climbing the stairs to do a high dive.
Okay, getting harder to imagine, but I'm just about with you still, Lizzie.
Okay, sorry, I just had to do that. Okay, so you're standing at the top of the diving board, right? And if you hold your arms out straight, you are going to know about it.
Oh, yes.
Right? You're going to hit the water with an almighty splash, and it's going to hurt.
It really is.
And it's going to be very noisy, yeah? But if you if you point your hands like that, like a proper
I'll be like an
diver.
elegant swan falling into the water.
See? So that's why you put your dies at a quirky angle, because instead of cutting that, my machine is going to cut this bit and then down as we go. I mean, it's not that quirky, but you could make it more. But the point is that it's on the angle. If I hold it up, you can see it's on an angle, and that's all you need. That's all you need. So a little top tip about swimming. Okay, so obviously I'm using the big Gemini, and to be perfectly honest, these dies are big. So the Junior probably wouldn't cut the mustard with this, but my thing has always been from day one, and we're coming up to 4 years now, please, please, please think about getting the bigger machine instead of the Junior. The Junior is, without a shadow of a doubt, excuse me, a wonderful machine. But it's not really big enough for our dies. Oh, excuse me, I just have to have a little slurp. Mm-hmm. Sorry, just had a little slurp.
You get yourself a little refresher. Is that what is in the glass is what I want to know, Lizzie?
A fizzy, but not the variety that we obviously are accustomed to, Joe.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Excuse me, I do apologise, guys.
Not a problem.
Right. 2 bits of lining, and again, I'm putting them on my plate. Please, please, please do not worry about your plates. This is, in my opinion, the plates and my Gemini are my workhorse. And it's not there to look pretty, it's there to do a job. And by golly, it does the best job that I know of. So you must never, 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 never worry about plates. And there's always something in the pipeline, I'm saying nothing, that might change the way we cut things. Anyway, so I'm popping that in the machine. I know you can't see it. I'll bring that in so it looks interesting for a moment.
I love that you've got yours on that lazy Susan that spins round.
Hold on, you'll have to tell me again when my machine stopped. When I'm being noisy, I can't hear you at all. So hold on.
I said, I love that you've got it on that lazy Susan, so it just spins round. It's a fabulous idea.
Yeah, of course. I'm not going to get up and break my back trying to get the plates out. I've got it on my turntable as normal because why not? Why not? Just makes life so much easier for everybody. And it means that, like I say, I don't have to get up and sort of stretch. And actually that came about when I had a bad back and I needed something to help me because I actually could not move. But I wanted to still do my die cutting. So a little bit of scrap. You know what we do with scraps, guys? We do crumb quilting with scraps. If you want to know about that, go and have a look at Lizzie Curtis on Facebook. So look, there's one die. Put it to one side. I don't need it anymore. I've now got the wherewithal to make the most amazing little pouch. This gorgeous peacock fabric that we've had now, we had, I don't know, about 3 years ago, I think now. It's still going strong. It's still a fabulous, fabulous design. So real quick, I'm going to do this as quick as I possibly can so we don't waste any time and that we've got things to do. We want to put a zip in, okay? And look, if you've never had Crafters Companions zips on a roll, you just don't know what you're missing. Now, I know they're not on the show, but I'm fairly hopeful they're on the website because the zips on a roll are what I live and breathe by. They're absolutely amazing. And that's what I've done. I've cut a really, really long length of zippage, which is far too long for my bag. You can see it's ridiculous, but it allows me to keep this zip slider out of the way when I want to stitch. So I could just attach this as normal like this and I keep my zip slider out of the way. It means all I'm stitching is almost like the tape, but I'm going to put little sort of tabs on the end so it's nice and neat. So if you just bring your zip along just a wee bit and then fold this over, so you're going to do, if I do it that way, I think that'll be better. So all I'm going to do is stitch along here and fold that back and then top stitch it. In fact, I could just top stitch it. That will give me a lovely neat tab to go on the end of my zip. So that's what I'm going to quickly do. So I've just folded that piece over so it's lovely and neat. I'm bringing the teeth of my zip together so it's it's closed, if you like. And I'm just going to whiz across. Let's just make sure that's sitting straight. I'm just whizzing across my zip. Be careful, be respectful of your machine. And be careful when you're going across zip teeth, especially if they're metal. So you can see it's absolutely enormous. Everything about it is enormous. So I'm going to trim this away, and then I'm just going to trim the end of my zip. So that's given me one tab, okay, which is great. But I haven't done any measuring yet. I don't often do measuring. But what we can do is we can offer that up. So if I do it so you can see it, offer that up. And now I can see that this end is where I want to put the other tab. But I want to make sure that it looks like that we've got that little sort of length going on, because there's no zip under there. And if there is, I want to cut it away because I don't want to stitch over it. So again, I'm doing the same to the other side. I'm lining this up now, and I'm just going to lay this over the top, about the same sort of length away from this end. So I'm kind of guessing it. You measure it, do it about an inch. And then I'm just going to top stitch that in place. So that's made me another little zip tab. But again, like I said, trim it back. So I'm cutting my zip right back so you can see what that looks like. And then I'm just going to cut my fabric, trim it all up. Whoops. More haste, as they say. I'm just going to measure it with this end, make sure it's about the same. I need to take about 1/8 of an inch off. I'm going to trim my zip back on there because I do not want to stitch on that at any time. I've now got zip tabs on the end of my project that have no zip there. It starts about here, but it's the perfect length, look, because I've just eyed it and measured it, stitched it, and we're done. So we now want to put this on top of there with the lining to be able to create half the bag, okay? So right side of the zip, there's your zip slider. And we're going to put this right side down. So let's just flip it over and right side down. Okay, now you can move that slider out of the way. So if I was to hold that and bring that up, you'll see that you're seeing the right side of that zip, okay? But we want to put the lining in as well. So if we'll flip it over so you can see, there we are, it's going beautifully end to end. So we'll get one of the lining pieces. All we're going to do is pop that over the top, and we're making a sandwich. And if I was to flip that back, you'll see that eventually we'll see the wrong side of the zip, which is absolutely what we need. Now, if you've got our fabulous purple clips, get them out and line all your pieces up. Make sure that you've got them all together. I'm just going to do this. My hands will be in the way, but I'll move them in just a second. Go from one end to the other, get all that lined up. And then you can put a couple in the middle. You can use pins if you want, but because you've got quite a few layers of fabric, the clips are great. If we only had 1 or 2 layers of fabric, I'd say pins, because sometimes clips are too heavy. But in this instance, it's perfect. So there's my zip sandwich, okay? Now, if you didn't get that and I was too quick, you know you can watch this Facebook Live back and this video back, this TV program back at any time you wish. So now I'm popping it under the machine. So, and I've got my zipper foot on. I use my zipper foot a lot. And I'm just going to allow my zipper foot to feel the edge of the zip, okay? I'm hardly even looking, because that zipper foot won't hop over the zip, not the zip teeth. It'll just sit comfortably right up to the edge of them. So if we zip along, now when I get to the slider, put the needle down, bring it up a little bit so it's standing proud. So I've raised it a wee bit, put your hand in there and move that slider along, lift your presser foot up, and it will easily move if you bring that needle up just a wee bit. And then we just finish stitching all the way along, little back stitch. And then when we open it up, we've got half of our zip installed. Now, real quick, because I know time is always of the essence, we're going to do the other side. So right side of your zip, you see the slider there? Okay, right side of your best fabric down, and you're going to put the lining underneath, just like we did before. Now, my lining, there's no right or wrong side. And if you use plain fabrics that doesn't have, like a petite even, that doesn't have a right or a wrong side, it really is your friend when it comes to things like this, because there is no right or wrong. It's great. Makes things so much easier. So again, we're just following the edge of that zip. I can feel the foot, my zipper foot, hugging the side of the zip. And you'll find, depending on what zipper foot you have, will depend on how close you can get to the teeth of your zip. Mine's about 1/8 of an inch away. It's a compromised zipper foot, but I love it. So stick with what you love. We just want to move that zip slider now. So I'm just lifting my needle so it's just into the fabric, lifting my foot up, finding the slider, moving it along, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, and finish off. There we go. So what we've created using one die out of that set is the most amazing. Well, actually, it could be a wonderful pouch like this, couldn't it? It could keep it open like that. That'd be amazing. But we want to make it into a bag. So open your zip up, bring your two pretty fabrics together and your wrong side, your lining together. So you've got the wrong side. I've opened my zip. I want to have a turning gap. So now the other thing is, let me see which way. Yeah, I'm going to hold it there just for a second. Do you see the crease line going down the middle?
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay. Yep. So what that means is that's created when the die goes through the Gemini. Because of the pressure of this fantastic machine, it gives you a crease. Now, in the normal world, you don't want a crease, but we're not in the world of normal. We're in the world of sewing and making things easy. Now, because you've got a crease on both sides, so you've got a crease, it's hard, I'm sorry about the lights. You've got a crease here, you've got a crease this side. I can actually marry those two up, so I know it works in my favour, Joe. And then with the lining, can you see how that works? So with the lining, I'm doing exactly the same. I'm lining my creases up. So that gives me a point of reference. And plus, I've got all the rest of the seams and everything to guide me. So I'm going to leave a gap of about, 4 inches or so. I'm going to stitch, around about 1/4 of an inch. Who's counting? Whizzing around. Don't forget, this could well be for a last-minute gift that you're desperate to make. Somebody's just asked you, could you mind just running me up a makeup bag, would you? It's my sister's birthday, the day before Christmas, and I need something really special just for her. Well, this is it. This is the project, right? And of course, get those seams so they're all lying beautifully flat, which is easy, because the thing about the dies is that they are 100% accurate, totally. So I'm about there. So take the other clip out, little back stitch. And assuming you've left your zip open, you can now put your hand in there. Phew, I did. And also use your pinking shears to neaten because it helps with curves. Also put your stitch length down to 2. That helps with curves as well. Just push all that out. There we go. You will push out. And what you have then is the most amazing, pretty makeup bag, toiletry bag. Obviously, you're going to stitch your turning gap and make that beautifully neat. Put your iron over it. It needs a good press, but hey presto, there we are. That's a bag made. And you could put a little wristlet on the side there. You could have a little hangy loop there. I would just leave it as it is. You could put some darts in here before you actually put it together, both sides, lining as well. Put some darts in, and that will actually give you a boxy bottom. So if you put your darts about here, of about an inch, but then pinch it to half an inch, stitch them. That will actually give you a faux boxy bottom. So that's just one idea. And I know that is in the pattern pack, but you know, when you start breaking it down and when you see how easy it is, you're going to make a ton of these before Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's the thing, isn't it, that you've got full tutorials with them as well, which is excellent. I'm just going to quickly run you through the 3 dies that you're getting in the 9 different bags that is going to enable you to create. So die set 1 is going to make for you the gorgeous jewellery holder, which you've got just there. You've also got the fold over clutch bag, and you're going to be able to make that fabulous travel wallet again. Get some of those made up for when we're going on our luxurious holidays once again. You've then got as well set 2, and in set 2 you're going to be able to make this one just here, which is the crescent clutch bag. You're also going to be able to make this one, which is that cosmetics bag, which I absolutely love. It's got loads of great pockets on the inside of there as well. And then finally you're going to be able to make this one here, which is the mini bowling bag, which is absolutely excellent. I love the little tassel on there as well. I think it is super, super cute. So you've got that one, that's set 2, and then with set 3 you're going to make these 3 awesome bags. So you're going to make this one just here, which is a cylinder carry case, as you can see there. You're also going to be able to make this one here. Love this one. This is your fabric storage basket. This makes a great yarn basket as well if you're into knitting and crochet. And finally, then you've also got as well the drawstring drum bag there too. 9 bags you're going to be making there from that collection. I mean, awesome value for money. It's on a buy 2 get 1 free as well, which is fantastic. So you're only paying for 2 of those die sets, and we'll send you out 3 of them, which is awesome. Now, lots of other great stuff for you on the show as well. I'm going to start with, I'm just tidying as I go here. I've turned over a new leaf, I don't know what's going on. I've got some great accessories for you on the show as well. So first up, the embroidery scissors. Now, a lot of people have been doing embroidery, hand embroidery. These are also just great for just removing little threads from any of your sewing projects. They are super, super cute as well, which I love, and perfect for those little embroidery projects. £6.39 or £7.96 if you want to get your hands on those ones there. We've also got the folding ruler. Now, obviously, rulers are an absolute essential when it comes to ensuring that you're getting really nice, clean, clear, even cuts, because let's face it, if you've got wonky cuts, then you're going to end up with wonky projects, and no one wants a wonky project. But the thing is, maybe you don't have a sewing room, maybe you've just got a sewing bag, maybe you have to pack your machine away, maybe you go off and you do a lot of maybe you go to a lot of sort of classes and things like that, then this is an excellent one, because this folds up to what, about 5 inches square, so you can 6 inches square in fact, so you're going to be able to just pop that into your bag and it's good to go whenever you need it. So do grab that, that's an essential. And the pens as well. The heat erasable pens, something that you see all of our sewing experts use and bring to you. The great thing about these is, of course, you pop it down, especially if you're marking out things that may get seen after once your sewing project has been sewn up. This is brilliant because it introduces the heat to that and then it completely erases them, which is awesome. $19.99 or $23.16 if you want to go for those ones, which is awesome. I'll just change the details actually for you to the heat erasable markers. Sorry, $7.99 for the heat erasable markers, whether you're shopping in the UK or you're in the US. Also, the Tall Tidy. So busy on this since you saw it at the start of the show. I think it's awesome. When I first saw it, I thought, what is it? Do you know what it reminds me of, shape-wise? Did anyone else's parents or grandparents ever used to have dates at Christmas? They were like in those, does anyone remember them? Lizzie's nodding along to me over there. My nan always at Christmas had those plastic containers that were like this shape and they had dates in them. Do you remember? Massive candied ones.
Yeah, and you always had the wooden stick so you could pick them out, couldn't you? You didn't have to use your fingers. You got a wooden stick with it. Yeah, fabulous.
Yeah, absolutely. And I forget what my grandma used to tell me they were. Something awful, so I didn't go and eat them all, I think. So, yes. But this is this is not one of those things, you'll be pleased to know. But it is going to make such a huge difference to you, isn't it, Lizzie? And when it comes to storage, every desk, every sewing desk, crafting desk, home office desk really desires to have one of these tidies on it, don't you think?
Totally. Do you know, and I'm going to be totally honest with you. I'm never anything other than honest. There's no point being otherwise. But this has never left the left-hand side of my desk, okay? When I launched it, whenever it was, I can't remember now, but I brought it home, and I remember saying every single time that I showed the tool, I was saying secretly to Crafter's Companion, please may I have 3 more? Joe, I haven't had the 3 more. I'm very disappointed. I'm going to have to go and buy them. But in actual fact, this has never left my side. I realised right from the get-go how super this is going to be in my life, because quite honestly, these are the tools that I use every single day, and I stitch 7 days a week, probably 10 to 12 hours a day. I need to have these tools beside me. And also, although I've got little scissors in here, it will actually take my big scissors as well. So even though, I'm demonstrating like that, I can put my big scissors in there too, so it doesn't restrict from the sizes of things. So this is this is my heap. Now, look, it doesn't look like a heap, but if I was to empty this out on my desk, and seriously, in actual fact, I tell you, I'll be honest with you, and I'll just get it. That's what I have on there. I have my USB charger for my phone to download photos, and I have my tape measure hooked over, and that's the God truth that's what I do. But look, I want to show you screwdrivers, quick unpick, pliers, of course my heat erasable pens, a stuffing stool, a Sharpie pen, pencils, my binding tool, a Hera marker, tweezers for my overlockers. Now that's for doing elastic with. I've got my clips, I've got a pokey tool. I'm going to lose the will to live in a minute. The quick unpick again. Embroidery scissors, got to be done. Keep them safe, guys. Embroidery scissors in there. Little embroidery scissors, big scissors. Then I've got my mitre tool, a stuffing tool, another bit of the stuffing tool, chalk pen, a Hera marker, oopsie, a Sharpie pen, 2 pairs of forceps, different sorts, that's why I've got them, a wooden Hera marker, another pen, stuffing stool, a humper jumper, Joe.
Makes me laugh. It really. I'm going to have to go and investigate this after the show.
Oh, yeah, you must. And it is what it's called. And heat erasable pens, writing pens. I've got a stiletto tool there, another pencil, more heat erasable pens because I use them all the time, more tweezers, another quick unpick. And seriously, these are the tools that I use every day. And of course, then my clips sit on the side of the tool. Now, look, if I was to take that away, okay, I can't get my big sort of foldy up ruler in there, but that is my heap. Now that could go, and I'm being serious, that would go, and I'm looking around my room for one, the lid of an A4 box, that would fit in there beautifully. But first of all, it takes up an A4 size piece of paper off my desk, and then I would be doing this. Now, surely I'm damaging things, I'm scratching things. My lovely embroidery scissors, I'm going to be scratching them. I'm going to be damaging things. My quick unpick, which has got the lid off, I'm probably going to poke myself with it. But what I can do is, all running along the middle of this is an opening gap. Now, I can put my binding tool in there and my mitre tool in there straight away. Now, my binding tool was a prototype, that's why it's clear, just stating facts. And then we're going to start filling it. We can put pens in there. Tweezers, I'll go through it all again. We've got forceps in there as well. We've got a Sharpie pen. We've got a bone folder or a crease maker. They call them a Hera pen. Then you've got a pokey tool there, another sort of marker there. Then you've got more forceps there. They're for stuffing, toy stuffing. You've got another sort of stuffing tool that actually I can pop that in. I've got my really big scissors. Let's pop those in there. And I'm not at all worried that they're going to fall. I've got a pokey tool. I've got a chalk pen. I'm losing words. I'm going to turn it around because now it's getting unbalanced. I'm going to turn it round. So holding it like this, I've got my stuffing tool. I've got my embroidery scissors, my humper jumper. It's true. Then I've got my Hera marker here for more turning out of points. I've got tweezers. I've got a writing pen because I do a lot of pattern writing, so it's for that. A spare one in case I run out. This is for putting elastic through projects. Of course, I've got my heat erasable pens. I've got another whatever it's called, quick unpick. I've got a pair of pliers because sometimes I can't get the feet off my particular machine, so I need pliers. Screwdriver for my other machine. Let's pop those scissors back in, tell it who's boss. Then I've got my heat erasable pen in there as well. I've got a Sharpie pen. Let's find a hole for the Sharpie pen. There we go. I've got a pencil. Now I can start popping these in. It's a bit like a flower arrangement. When you've got bits in there, it sort of spreads the little silicone fingers out, and it means you can get more in. So I've got another quick unpick there, so I'll put that in there. I've got my heat erasable, which I can put there, and this is a stiletto, which is for poking things, fabric-wise. Then that is now full. I can put my tape measure back on there and my USB charger. The only thing I've got left, one pencil. Let's not leave the pencil out. It'll get upset. The only thing I haven't got in there now are my clips, and my clips can go wherever there's a little space. So again, I've got them to hand because they fit beautifully on there. And because they're silicone, I've got a whole big gap there, Joe.
Oh, what are you going to put in there?
That's terrible. Hold on a minute. I've got more pens here. I've got a paintbrush, because actually I use a paintbrush for gluing. I'm sorry I'm reaching right across you because I'm getting excited. I've got a gap. I could get so much more in there, but I'm not going to. And then I've got my clips. So my clips can go around where all the gaps are. And because they're silicone, they grab. There's no danger of them pinging off. You think, how on earth are they fitting in there? But you find little gaps. It's a bit, like I said, a bit like flower arranging. And I'm sure you do that a lot, Joe.
Lots. I'm actually going on a wreath making course on Sunday. So, yes.
Oh, really? That's amazing. Oh, you'll have a fab time. You really will. You really will have a fab time with that.
I'll take one of these to put my tools in so I'm all organised whilst I'm on the class, maybe.
Yeah, totally. Because you know what, you can, like I said, I could give one of these to John and he could put his pliers in there, his screwdrivers, his pens and pencils, because he does crafting as well. So he could have one. This is why I wanted 3. Nobody listens to me, Joe, because I could see the potential. You could also fill this with toothbrushes as well, spare brushes as well. So put all your toothbrushes in there, and then your spare ones that you have to change. There's so many different ways of using it. In fact, it would take like slimline lipsticks and eyeshadows and things like that. It would take that as well. And don't forget, you've got that gap going right down the centre where you can see now just about where my 2 slim tools are. And actually, you could get a 6x12 ruler in there. I know that sounds crazy because it's not very deep, but it balances. I'm not sure that it's heavy to start off with, but it ends up being heavy. So it's got a very heavy bottom, Joe.
Wow, I know that affliction. Don't you worry about that, Lizzie. Now, a lot of people, there's loads of people in the comments talking about other things that you could use this for. A lot of people saying great for things like makeup brushes and popping lipsticks and things in here. Absolutely, there's loads that you're going to be able to do with it all the way around the house. The lovely Pam Craven just says, when these were first sold, Pam says, they were sold in pairs, but she didn't realise, and she wanted to order 4, but she ordered 8 by accident. So she kept them. So she said, I have one of these with some of my sparkle and metallic pens in from subscription boxes. I've got ball tools and tweezers in another, and then I've also got pens and pencils and pokey tools and craft knives in another, and now it all sits beautifully organised, which sounds wonderful. Very busy on that tool tidy. $7.99 whether you are shopping in pounds or you are shopping in dollars. I remember when we launched these and we've really struggled to keep them in stock since then. So do grab one whilst we have one. And I think if you were looking for a little gift for someone, really, really excellent. Let's move on. I want to move on to the fabric cutter for you. I just want to show you, just grabbed a piece of paper just so I can show you all of the markings that you've got on here, because all of these markings are basically all of the angles on here. So you're going to be able to get those really nice precise cuts every single time that you use it. As Lizzie was saying earlier, it's fantastic if you are left-handed like myself, you can use it that way. If you're right-handed, of course, all you're going to have to then do is spin it round, so it doesn't matter if you're left or right-handed. Really lovely big handle on there. If you want to as well, you've got a little hook there too, so nothing to stop you hanging that up as well from the handle if you wish. It is an essential. We sell so many of these. 47.99 if you're here in the UK, 71.99 if you are across in the US and you want to get your hands on them. 30.39 as a platinum member here in the UK. 57.59 if you're a platinum member in the US as well. So definitely grab hold of those. I'm going to pop that over there firstly. Let me just grab the Queen Bee back in again, because that panel is very, very busy. Let me just bring these out. 40% of the Queen Bee panel has sold out and gone. Let me just again share these with you. They are absolutely blooming gorgeous is what they are, because you've got this gorgeous watercolour on canvas effect, which I think is just beautiful, really striking. Someone was asking me the size earlier, you know. Do you know what? I'm gonna measure it, you know. And do you know I'm gonna measure it? Let's bring this back in. I'm gonna measure it on the cutter. So it is, well, the cutter goes up to 14 inches. So I would say 15, just over 16 inches. I'd say about 16.5 inches square the panel is. So yes, I hope that helps. Yeah, about 16.5 inches square. Really beautiful, lovely size. I think for something like a cushion, going to be a really, really perfect size for you, which is awesome. I've got these all the wrong way round. Let me just turn these over for you. Here we are. We've also then got the leaping hair, which is another option. Really, really wonderful. I love all the detail. I love his eyes as well. So much life in the eyes of that one. Then you've got that Highland cow as well. Really nice. Really love Highland cows. There's some really gorgeous canvases I've seen with Highland cows on. You've also got the little sheepy there as well. Oh, we get so many sheep around here in the summer. I went out for a bike ride. They are absolutely everywhere. The pheasant is next, as you can see. Again, really, I love all the detailing in the background here, all that watercolour detailing. It's really been printed using the utmost of quality. You've then got the rooster here as well. Almost a third of the rooster has sold out and gone. Lots of beautiful colours in there. And then we've got the rabbit as well. It's so, so cute, that rabbit. Now, let me take you through the other fabrics that we've got. So let me just run you back through these. So you've got the bee here, really beautiful. And bees so on trend as well. You see a lot of them. So you've got the bees. How much of the stock of the bees gone? Just over half the stock of the bees has sold out and gone. You've also got the leaping hare there as well. Really, really gorgeous. We've then got the Highland cow, really gorgeous. You've got the sheepy, which is that one there. You've also got the pheasant, which is lovely. You've then got the rooster. 30% of the rooster has sold out and gone. And you've got the rabbit there as well. 40% of that rabbit has sold out and gone. Right, I know Lizzie absolutely loved these. Really cost effective these as well. £5.49 for a half metre. Buy multiples, and because we cut fabrics by the hand here at Crafter's Companion, it means we can cut you in multiples. So if you're thinking of a larger project, order a couple and we'll send you a metre piece, which is awesome. I must say, Lizzie, I think cushion's obviously going to be wonderful. What else would you be using these fabrics for? Just seeing as they are, you know, quite coarse.
Gosh, because they are a heavier weight, they're not like quilting cotton at all. They are a canvas. They are perfect for bag making because it gives it already that stability. So you know when we made the little pouch here that we made a little while ago, I have to stabilize it because it hasn't got that rigidity that you would need. You know, it would be too floppy. Okay, so the idea of a canvas is that you have that rigidity built in, and this is why, you know, we sort of knocked this up in 10 minutes, didn't we? And the only reason is because of the quality of the fabric. And when we look inside, you can see that I've got the French seams going on. I wanted people to see this because this is the inside of the bag. And because I've done a French seam, it's super, super neat. But also you've got the quality of the fabric. It's strong, it's robust. You know, it reminds me, you know, when this is not a reflection of the quality of the fabric, but you know, like potato sacks. And you can make things out of that, which are going to be really, really strong. You know, in the old days, you'd have a canvas sort of fabric for potatoes. Sorry, I'm so old, I remember that. Well, of course, these are the sort of things that you would have made. And in fact, if you went to a really, really trendy boutique, you could pick up a bag like this with your bee. Look at that, fabulous. Okay, we want to change. Let's turn it. And look at that. Put a pocket on there. You've got plenty of fabric to make one of these bags with the panel, which is, like you said, about 16, 17, 18 inches square. And then the meterage that comes as well, you need to get that because it's complementary. And then you can make another one. You've got enough fabric to do this bag plus another one. And then you've got spares as well. So you could put a little pocket on the back, pop a pocket inside as well for your valuables. Maybe your credit card can go in there. If you're just going to the shops, oh, hurrah, tomorrow, here we come. You can put your goodies in there. You know, I go to a local farm shop for my stuff. And this, of course, I have to say, now I'm going to tell you something. It's a bit of a secret.
Oh, I love a bit. Is it gossip?
It's just between me and you, Joe. All right, no telling anybody.
Absolutely.
I'm going to have to kill you.
I love some salacious gossip.
Okay, so when I go to my farm shop, which is very posh, I have to say, I'm not posh, but I love some of the things that they do. You have to have treats, but they have a whole range of pre-made things like footstools and bags, there's like tea cozies, oh gosh, there's all sorts of stuff, and it's all made with this type of fabric. So I just want to show you, I call them sheepies as well. But you know our sheepies, let's put it to the side so you can see our sheepie. Look at him. He's just so gorgeous, isn't he? Look at his face. Oh. Anyway, so you'll find these type of things in upmarket farm shops like I'm talking about, with no stitching on there, no detail, just the sort of watercolour that you're seeing there. But then, like I've done, if you want, you could cover this. For instance, you could pick up the darkness of this with stitch, or you could do like French knots in there just to give it some texture like a sheep would be, and texturize it and put different shades of that in. You know, you would really sort of glam him up. You could make him a princess crown. Seriously,
Absolutely.
You could make it into a... Well, you can these days. You can get away with all sorts. So a princess crown on there because he's a lovely little sheep. And then you could glam him up. You could have a bell on there.
Maybe you could have some earrings on.
Totally. Why not? Why not? Because anything goes these days. So use some of that stash that you've got in those drawers and cupboards and start creating. You don't have to leave it like this. But if you do, look how beautiful that is. And the complementary fabric that you get with it is absolutely beautiful. Now, I'm going to show you how you're going to fussy cut this using the fabric cutter. Because, yes, you could make this into the back of a cushion, the back of a bag, anything for upholstery. Listen, your dining room chairs need a quick makeover before Christmas. You could upholster your dining room chairs with this fabric because it's got that, it's strong. It's super strong. It's not like quilting cotton. You're going to love it. And you could still glitter him up. You could still get your glitter pens on him and glitter him up and make it really super cute. But if you're wanting to make something quite different, I mean, I brought a navy blue in here, which is a bit of a yin yang. I mean, a beige would have been nicer, but I figured I wanted to make a pop. So I'm going to put this under my fabric cutter. I haven't cut any of it yet. This is live. This is live. This is without the aid of a safety net, Joe. I hope you realise that.
On the hoof.
I know, on the hoof. I love it. So I'm folding it in half, okay? And what I want to do is I want to pick up that strip going along there of the sheep. Now, if it means I have to sacrifice that little sheep, then so be it. But I could...
That little sheep, where's that little sheepy going to?
Yeah, but he could be made into a strap. He could be the strap of a bag, okay? So even though... Sorry, little sheepy, you're going to be scrap in a minute. What I want to get is this little sheep in a nice square. I'm not really an idea of what the square size will be. But if I bring my, and you could do this under the cutter, but I just don't want to have too many flashy lights. So if I do the 2-inch over there, so that will give me 4. Yeah, a 4-inch square will be perfect. So we can pop this under the fabric cutter. Sorry, I have to stand up, guys. And I'm doing it so I've got my selvages together. So I know that I'm already starting off with a lovely straight line. And in actual fact, you can use your grid of your mat plus your cutter at the same time. I'm going to put something on my cutter so it doesn't flash. Not too bad. I'll never be a perfectionist with that. And I'm just going to cut this. I'm going to guesstimate it first of all. So I'm going to line it all up. So the fold of my fabric, hold on, the fold of my fabric is following the lines of my cutter. So you can see, look, you can see the fold, you can see the line of the cutter. So straight away, I'm going to move that along a little bit, and I'm just going to be brave. I think I cut through. It seemed too quick, but yes, it has cut through beautifully. I don't know why I doubted. And then I'm just going to move that along a wee bit, but I want that to be 4 inches. So, and I'm sorry I have to keep covering everything up, but I don't want you to have the flash. So I know that's now 4 inches from the other side. So my 4-inch line is here. It's in pink, so I can't miss it. And I'm just going to move that a fraction. No, I'm not. I'm going to keep it exactly where it is because I remembered I didn't want that little sheep down the middle. So look, there's my strip cut. Let me get this out of the way. There's my strip cut. And so my sheep are straight down the centre of my piece of fabric now. Look at that. That's absolute perfection, okay? But what it's left me with is these little lonely sheep here. So my next cut would be about here. But look, I can use that I can make some webbing up. If you can't find any webbing, hello, you've got webbing there straight away. And that's actually a really good size for a handle. I've got that double, so that's perfect. So let's just pop that to one side. But now I want to make this into 4-inch pieces because if I use my navy blue as well, it will make the most terrific piece of patchwork. So I'm just going to line this up. I'm going to line it up so we can hopefully get that 4 inches in there. I'm just doing this by eye, guys, but you could spend a bit of time on this. So cut that first piece away. I'm popping my fabric underneath. I'm getting the 4-inch strip. Oh, I'm getting a bit of feedback. And then I've got my sheep right straight into the centre. Okay, straight into the centre. So look at that, absolute perfection. Let me just lift that up so you can see. My little sheepies are right in the centre of my fabric. How about that? Now that's what I call accuracy. That's what I call results. But if I wanted to make some patchwork, I've got this beautiful linen. Now, Crafter's Companion some linen on their website. I don't think they've got it at the moment. I'm hoping that they get it back because the quality of the linen that they have on the website is absolutely phenomenal, and I bought tons of it. Well, actually, it was probably me that sold it out. I've just dug myself into a hole there, haven't I? So I'm cutting 4-inch strips with my fabric cutter. It's an absolute breeze. And again, we'll just shove that behind us. I'm going to neaten off an end, and I'm sorry if you're getting flashing. One day we'll get it sorted.
You've been flashing at me all afternoon, Lizzie. That's what I'm going to tell people when I finish this show.
I know. Honestly, I've got such a flashing reputation. So, so there we are. A couple of squares cut with absolute perfection. And don't forget, I have cut that just one layer, okay? You know, super easy, you might say. Well, of course it is. Why not? So, but you could cut, I don't know, 6-7 layers with this. It doesn't have to be, one layer. So, oh my gosh, these sheepies are lovely. So now look, I can now make a piece of patchwork. Oh no, we've actually reinvented the wheel here.
Oh my
so we've
word.
made a piece of patchwork. And so
Love
from
that.
your piece of canvas, I'm using linen because it's natural. This is natural. This is, I would say it's 100% cotton because of the quality of it. And now putting a piece of linen in there, it's of the same weight, it's of the same caliber. It's not, this is not like quilting cotton. This is a little bit heavier. But now you can patch yourself a piece. And I mean, it looks stunning. The blue, the navy blue, is lifting that little sheep out. It really is. What do you think, Joe?
I love it. I think it's absolutely awesome, and definitely another fun way of using it. I think I definitely wouldn't have thought about snipping into them individually.
No, and it's always thinking out of the box. And I see my job is, okay, that's a bit of fabric. We can all see it's a bit of fabric, but what else can we do with it? What's exciting about it? What's going to make it special? What's going to make it put that in your basket? So between now and Christmas, you could make something fabulous for your dining room table to gift to a friend. That could be made into a little pouch to put a present in. Please don't buy wrapping paper. Use your fabrics. Use the fabrics that you have already in your stash. Buy these fabrics, make some beautiful pouches, pop your gifts in there and create something. I can honestly tell you, hand on heart, that whoever is the recipient will absolutely love it because they know that you made it with love.
Absolutely, it is. It's a really, really lovely fabric. I think, however you choose to use it. Lizzie, would you mind, whilst you're there, giving us another tour around that fabric cutter, because it's got very, very busy on that in the last sort of 20 minutes or so.
Totally. I'm going to hold it up. I'm going to do it so it doesn't flash very much. Okay. Right, so let's have a quick tour. First of all, you've got an ergonomic handle here, so you can lay the palm of your hand over the top and it cradles it. And when I press down on this, that's when the blade engages. So it's perfectly safe. I can put my hand there. I'm not going to get cut. And it's on a slider rail. So that's always going to be very, very easy for you to push that along. You know, I've had the most horrendous shoulders. I pull them. I don't know. I've got a weakness there. And if my shoulder goes and I lose my strength, which has happened so many times in the last 2 or 3 years, this is my go-to because I can use my hand as the pressure. You don't need to eat spinach. It's a lovely free sort of moving action. So it only engages the blade when you press down. It takes a 45mm blade. So if you've got one of these, that blade will fit into that machine here, this little head here. There's a little screw. I can show you if you like. But it can easily swap them over. So if you find you're using this more than that, then put that blade into there or keep it as a spare for when you know you're going to blunt it because you're going to use it so much. You've got the pink numbers going down here, which is your inches, and they go all the way around. You can see them beautifully and down the middle as well. Those are your inches. But here, look at this. We're in the modern world, guys. We have centimetres and millimetres. I don't know anything about them, but according to rumours, a lot of people use them. So you've got your centimetres down there as well. So you've also got these lines as well, your 60, 45 and 30. Hard, I know, perhaps to see, but you've got those angle lines on there. So if you want to make your own bias, if you want to make your own hexagons and diamonds and squares and all those sort of things, you can do that because you've got all the lines. That black grid is fantastic because it will show up on any of those fabrics you've got. And if it doesn't, you've got the pink lines to show you. So if I get, for instance, my navy blue fabric, which I threw on the floor, which I shouldn't have done because it's my favourite linen. If I was to bring that round, I mean, straight away, look, you can see. Straight away, you can see the pop of those pink. So although my black lines disappear, I know exactly where I am because I've got the pink lines. And you know you're going to go straight across. Look, you can line it up and you're going to go straight across. You know exactly where you are. So don't ever think, well, black lines are useless. I'm never going to see them. Look at that. It's like a Belisha beacon. It's popping out at you. So you've got everything there that you need. You've got this carry handle here. So you can hook it up in your room somewhere. If you're worried that the grandchildren or the children will get hold of it, don't be. Get a hook high up and pop it on the hook. The other great thing is this. I'm right-handed. so's a lot of people, and so I can use it this side. But there's also an awful lot of people who are left-handed, and if I turn that around, that immediately makes it into a left-handed cutter. So we haven't excluded anybody. Everybody can use this gadget, tool, gizmo, we'll call it what you like. It's actually an essential in your craft room, and when you're not using it, hang it up. Mine goes flat on top of my bookcases here, so I know exactly where it is. And also you've got the blue on the side, so you can recognise it if it's tucked away behind some cutting boards, which some of us have in our room besides our bins. That's me. And you can see it straight away. So what's not to love about it? It's massive as well. It's 15 by 15 and a half. So you've got a massive amount of cutting room. I mean, if I bring it in, the markings go right up to here, right up to the edge. That's your 15 and a half inch line here. So you can cut huge pieces of fabric if you want to. If you've got something like a layer cake that's a 10-inch square, they're quite a big piece of fabric to manipulate. That'll sit under there and almost disappear because of the size of this. And again, you can cut into it. You can make half square triangles called square triangles because you've got all the markings on there to do that. So it really is one of those tools that you'll never regret. You may have seen others. You may have looked around and said, oh yes, there's a so-and-so brand and there's a so-and-so brand. I can almost guarantee they are not this size. You might have one that's about this sort of size. You might have one that's perhaps about 12 inches square, or not as wide as this, not as wide as 15. But you can get like ones that are on a little slither. Well, what good is that to us crafters, us fabric cutters? We're serious crafty people. We want big. I always say about getting the big Gemini. Get the big fabric cutter because you absolutely won't regret it. Do I sound a little bit passionate about it, Joe?
Absolutely, yes. I mean, we've got I've never heard someone talk so passionately about a cutter, but you're not on your own, Lizzie, because loads of people are letting me know. So Liz Smith in the comments saying, I absolutely love the fabric cutter. I use it all of the time. And yes, loads and loads of love for it. Definitely grab it right here whilst it's in stock right now. And I think the thing is, you know, if you are cutting things properly and getting things, you know, squared off properly, you stand the best chance when you come to popping them together. If you want to get your hands on that fabric cutter, $47.99 if you're in the UK, $71.99 if you're in the UK, saving yourself £12 or $18. Yes, you can use your Club Inspire Platinum discount, of course, or any of your Club Inspire discounts on top of that as well. Right. I'm going to run back through the panels for you. Very busy. I need to let you know we have lost the bee fabric, I'm afraid. It has sold out and gone. We knew it would be the most popular one. Congratulations if you got your hands on it. Right, we do still have the queen bee panel. However, 80% of the queen bee has gone, so you will need to be quick for that one right there. The hair as well, I love this. Fifth of the stock of this one is gone. Love all the detailing around his eye, it's really gorgeous. The next one we have is the Highland cow. Over a third of the Highland cow has sold out and gone. Over a fifth of the sheepy here has sold out and gone. Love his body. His body's not painted, but it's just got all of that detailing in there. I think it's absolutely awesome. The next one we've got here is the pheasant. 20% of the not a peacock, definitely a pheasant, has sold out and gone. This gorgeous rooster as well. Over a third of the rooster now sold out and gone too. And you also have that rabbit in there as well. Half of the little baby rabbit has sold. What are baby rabbits called? Anyone know? A doe, I think, might be a deer. A deer. But what? A kitten. Rabbit kittens. I don't know. Does Lizzie know? I bet Lizzie knows. She knows everything, Lizzie. Do you know what a baby rabbit's called, Lizzie?
I'm thinking leverets, but I think they're hares, aren't they? They're not rabbits.
Yeah.
I think they're leverets.
Someone's going to Google it. Lizzie, stand by. I'll come back to you. Right, so they are our panels. Let's pop those out of the way. And then we have these lovely fabrics. So you've got that gorgeous hair there, which is really, really lovely. Half of the hair is gone. You've got that lovely Highland cow, which is that one just there. Half of that one also sold out and gone. We then have the sheep as well, which is this one here. Over a third of the sheep has gone. You've got that gorgeous pheasant. 45, so almost a half now of the pheasant sold out and gone. We also have the rooster. A third of the rooster has sold out and gone. And the rabbit is over 80% of the rabbit. They're sold out and gone. We were just really excited about the rabbit all of a sudden. That's what happened there. Right, did we find out what a baby rabbit is called? A female rabbit is called a doe. We found that out. We're still working on we're still working on it. Okay, right. We will let you know. I mean, we can't leave you on that cliffhanger. Imagine if everyone has to go about their day not knowing what a baby rabbit is actually called. I mean, we're gonna ruin days, I think, at this rate. We will find out, and we'll come back to you. They're called kittens. Baby rabbits are called kittens, as we thought they might be. Right, we. It's all good. It only gets better from here, folks. We have still got some of the face masks available to you on the show. They make 5 each, these, which is awesome. So £16 or $20. You've got instructions on there as well, so you'll be able to find a link to instructions. This one here is the round rainbow. You've also got the square rainbow, which is this one just here. They're all the same pricing. You've got the splash rainbow. You've also got the rainbow splash square. Then you've got the pink square, and you've also got the blue square as well. Absolutely awesome. Grab those. It really is the last of what we have on those just there. Now, also still very busy on the tool tidy as well. Sort of becoming the star of the show, this tool tidy. And I think it's awesome because it is going to enable you to get everything so organised, especially if you're wrapping loads of gifts and stuff. You know, you can have all like your little wrapping bits and bobs in there, your little ribbon scissors and your paper scissors and your glue dots, all those different things. Awesome for a load of different uses all the way around. Of course, developed by threaders, so means that it is made to pop all of your sewing little bits in here as well. $7.99 whether you're shopping in the UK or you're shopping in the US. I'm not going to keep talking about it because Lizzy absolutely loves it, and honestly, Lizzy, I think if there was some sort of Guinness World Record for the amount of stuff in one of these, you would definitely own it.
Yeah, well, but I had spaces. I very, very disappointed, Joe, because I filled it all and then realised I had space, which it doesn't sit right with me. I need to fill it. Only because it's so useful. When you look at it, my goodness, I don't even know what the width is. What is it, 2 inches wide by, this is going to be tricky, 8 inches long. So it's no desk space. And in actual fact, serious stitchers, serious crafters would have these lined up, surely. You'd have them lined up so you can pull out any one that you needed. You could have one with all your pens and pencils in, one with all your scissors in, one with all your pokey tools and your quick unpicks, because you do need them, and your stilettos and all of that. So you could have a little tool tidy for every sort of occasion, really. I think it's fabulous. And I've said before, and I'm going to say it again, I launched this exact one, whenever that was, a little while back, and this has never left my side. It's always been on the left-hand side of my desk, next to my Gemini, next to some powder that I use for using heat and bond fabrics, don't ask, and it's always there because of the job it does. And I'm going to prove it to you because, look, I've got a 12x6 ruler here, and that will fit in there. Can you believe that?
That's
so look,
awesome.
Let's undo it. Let's see what a mess that we get into when we start to unload it. And you are unloading. There's a lot of stuff. Do you know what? I don't even know how much. There's probably about, 30, 40 items here. And I hang like my tape measure over. I usually hang my charging wire up, but I've had to plug my phone in because I've been watching the show on my phone like everybody else. It said low charge, and I thought, oops, I better charge it. But normally I have it hanging from one of the tools. So look, there we are. And these are all essential. Don't think I've just done this for TV, because I absolutely haven't. This is what I use all the time, okay? Now, 6x12 ruler. Okay, let's do it. So you find the center and you just kind of shove it in. You'll find it. You'll find the sort of groove, if you like. Now, is that sitting straight? Yes. So I'm not sure if I can get how close I can get that. But look at that. That's my 12x6 ruler. It's not toppling over, hands free. So again, we could put our 6x12 ruler in there should we want to. But when we start putting all our gear in, this is where I get really excited, which is crazy. What is it? A tool tidy. But I get excited about it because it completely frees up my desk. Sharpie pens can go in there, even though they're really thick. I've got stilettos going in there. I've got Hera tools going in there, just for marking fabric they are. Now, if I'm not careful, it might topple over because I'm doing one side then another. I've got my tweezers in there for my overlocker. That goes in there, and I've got two different sizes of those. I've got a wooden marker there because it's important to sometimes use natural product. I've got pliers. My pliers easily fit in there. I need pliers to change the feet on my machine. I've got my beautiful embroidery scissors in there, a pokey tool because sometimes we need a little pokey tool on those projects. Okay, I just bung my tape measure over there. That's where it sits. That's where it'll stay. Then I've got clips in there because I've got a little bit of space. I'm going to turn this around in a second. I've got so much space. Screwdriver, because I need a screwdriver to change the foot on my machine. A heat erasable pen, because I use them all the time. A regular pen, because I write patterns, so I need to be able to write notes down. A chalk pen, because I need to draw lines on darker fabrics. I've got forceps here, and they're called something else, and I really can't remember the name. But anyway, for stuffing toys, I've got my humper jumper.
Still makes me laugh. Still makes me laugh.
And that's for going over. I mean, maybe the canvas that you're going to get, because that canvas has been flying out of the door. Maybe you're going to do thick seams on your canvas. Look, I've only filled half of it. My ruler is bending because of the amount of stuff. But we can go over to the other side. These are like silicone fingers. They're going to grab everything that you shove in there. Look, even my big scissors sit in there. I don't have any doubts. It's only about an inch deep, but I know full well that it's going to take the weight of those scissors. So I've got tweezers going in. I've got the forceps going in again. Somebody's going to tell me what they're called. There's a different name. Pencil. And I'm going to be disappointed again because I haven't got enough stuff for it. Paintbrush in case I want to smooth out some glitter paste. Another pen for writing. Another pen for correcting the writing I've just done. A quick unpick. I've got my... here it is. This is my favourite of all time. I don't know why, but it is. Another marking pen. Then I've got spaces to put my clips so we can pop one or two of those in. And they will just fit in there. Because of the silicone, they grab. So I know, or even though it's quite a wide sort of base, if you like, I know my quilting clips are going to be fine. And then I reckon I could probably get these in there. If I move my 12x6 out of the way, look, I can slot my mitre tool and my binding tool in there as well. And they just sit. There you go. So that's the whole lot. That's the whole lot gone back in there. And again, I've got spaces, Joe. Look, I'm fed up. I've got spaces. Look at that.
I don't think you're ever going to be able to fill it.
And you know what? Look at my desk. It's absolutely clear of stuff. And that's how I like it. That's how I have to work fairly tidy, would you believe? And that's why I love this gadget. I mean, it is a gadget, but you know what? You're going to find so many different ways of using this in the house. And please don't sell out, because I think I'm going to have to order 3 more. I want one for the bathroom, I want one for the kitchen, and possibly one for John's room, because he does model trains. So he's got all his pliers in there. Because don't forget, I've got my pliers in there somewhere. Yes. You know, so there's all sorts of things you can put on there. I'll move that because it looks scruffy. Even like I've got quilter's tape, and you can bung that in there just to hold it in place. It just grabs it. So everything is there that I need. And look, 8-inch by 2-inch base, and you could have a load of those lined up. I think that would be amazing.
It looks absolutely awesome, Lizzy. Lizzy, can you believe we're nearly out of time? Where has the last 2 hours gone?
That's flown by, Joe.
Absolutely, hasn't it? Well, do you know what they say, Lizzy? Time flies when you're having fun, clearly. So that's obviously you're having had too much fun in the sewing room today. Right, can I say it was an absolute pleasure to have you join us again. Hopefully they'll let us do it again really soon as well.
Yeah, hopefully. I think I'm back next Tuesday, as long as the technology holds up. I think I'm back next Tuesday.
Well,
So I don't know what they've got lined up for me. Oh, actually, I do know. I'm not going to say, but I'm launching something on Sunday. You know where?
yeah.
And I think we're going to see that on Crafters TV.
Well, do you know what? I'm here next Tuesday as well, so I'll see you then as well, which will be lovely. So we will be back together again. Massive thanks, Lizzy, and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care. Always
Bye.
lovely to have Lizzy join us, of course, on the shows. I just wanted to recap a few items as well for you. So that's all tidy. As you can see, very, very busy on that as we come towards the end of the show. I know it doesn't look much, but when you get it full of tools, honestly, it is ingenious. It is such a little space saver for you out on your work surface. $7.99 whether you are in the UK or you are across in the US. I'm just going to grab my fabric cutter and bring that back in as well, because it's very busy on this fabric cutter as we move towards the end of the show. The great thing is, as Lizzy was showing us as well as we went through the show, doesn't matter if you're left-handed or right-handed, because you've got the ability to just spin it around, which is awesome. And you've got all those markings on there. I love that you've got all of your angles, all of your inch markings too. You do have centimetres as well, as Lizzy said, all the way around the outside. So if you want to work in centimetres, then be our guest. You're more than welcome to do that. It is fabulous. I think as well, especially if you're starting out, I think it's going to be a lot easier for you than a rotary cutter and a ruler, because you've got more, you can get more pressure down through it, and it's more considered, I think, with those cuts, especially maybe if you don't have the best sort of dexterity. It might be a great way to go as well. I've just about got time to remind you of the panels and the fabrics that we've got available for you on this show. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. The Queen Bee is limited stock, I'm afraid. If you want the Queen Bee, then it is going to go. It's going to be the next one to sell out. We've also, of course, got the hair. Get a few of these, guys. £2.49 or $3.99. At this price, you'll definitely wish that you got more than one of these. And, of course, you can. You've got the Highland Cow in here. We also have this one just here, which is the sheep. We've then got the peacock, no, pheasant. I knew I was going to say it again. You got the pheasant. Imagine, don't eat a peacock at Christmas. That's not nice. You've also got the rooster in here as well. And, of course, the rabbit. Last call, is it, on the rabbit? Very, very, very busy on the rabbit. Apparently, someone told me what a collective of rabbits was called as well, and it made me laugh. It was, yeah, they're called kittens. They're called kits or kittens, but a collective of wild rabbits is known as a fluffle. There you go. How cute is that? A fluffle. Or sometimes they can be known as well as a colony. I thought that was really cute. So a fluffle of rabbits. Right, let me just quickly whiz you through the fabrics again. The B one has gone. I'm teasing you. I'm sorry. What a tease I am. You've got the leaping hare, which is this one here. Oh. Let me go this way around. There we go. I've got them the wrong way around. So you've got the leaping hare, which is this one here. You've also got the Highland Cow. You've got the gorgeous sheep. You also have that wonderful pheasant. You've got the rooster there. Oh, and the rabbit, I'm afraid, sold out and gone, that bunny rabbit. So congratulations if you got hold of that. What an awesome, busy show we have had. We have got the launch party coming up in an hour. I'll be here with Debbie Robinson for 2 whole hours, which is sure to be loads and loads of fun. And we have got the preview of something that is launching tomorrow on launch day with myself and Sarah that you are not going to want to miss out on. It is absolutely awesome. Get yourself a cup of tea or coffee, get yourself a reset, and make sure you join us back here in an hour's time. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.